listen closely. Before you chase success, before you ask for clarity, before you lift another dream from the pages of your imagination, you must understand one truth that governs everything. Everything is energy, not some things, not most things. Everything. Your thoughts, your fears, your ambitions, your habits, your failures, your victories, your relationships, your outcomes, your destiny. Everything begins as a vibration, a frequency, a pulse of energy you either command or surrender to. And the tragedy is this: most people walk through life blind to the energy they carry, unaware of the energy they project, unconscious of the energy they attract. They blame luck. They blame circumstances. They blame their past. They blame the world. But the truth is simple. You are either directing energy or being directed by it. And if you do not learn to master energy, you will live your entire life at the mercy of forces you don't even realize you're creating. Today, that ends. Today, you learn what the elite know, what the successful practice, what the awakened live by, what Napoleon Hill hinted at in every principle, what every great mind eventually discovers. Control your energy and you control your life. Ta laudo febrirition tifo free el pabar. Everything you think vibrates. Everything you feel vibrates. Everything you repeatedly focus on becomes a magnetic force sculpting the direction of your life. This is not imagination. This is not optimism. This is not some mystical comfort created to make you feel good. This is the underlying engine of the universe. This is vibration. This is frequency. This is the silent architecture behind every victory you create and every failure you repeat. Your entire existence is a living transmission, broadcasting who you are long before you speak a word. Your mind is not just a thinker. It is a transmitter. Every belief you hold emits a frequency that announces your expectations to the world. Your emotions are not reactions. They are signals. Every feeling you allow to dominate you radiates outwards and shapes the conditions of your life. And your actions. Your actions are the amplifier. They strengthen your broadcast, intensify your vibration, and accelerate the arrival of the experiences you are aligned with. Whether you are aware of it or not, you are always broadcasting, always vibrating, always calling something toward you. When your inner world is chaotic, filled with fear, insecurity, doubt, distraction, your vibration becomes broken and scattered. You project mixed signals. You say you want success, but your emotions vibrate fear. You say you want abundance, but your beliefs vibrate lack. You say you want growth, but your habits vibrate stagnation. And so your results arrive the same way: inconsistent, unpredictable, unstable. You begin to believe the world is unfair, that luck is the deciding factor, that other people have advantages you don't. But the truth is much simpler. Your vibration is not unified. Your mind, heart, and actions are not aligned. Your energy is working against itself. But when your inner world becomes directed, disciplined, intentional, focused, everything changes. When you control your thoughts, instead of allowing them to wander aimlessly, your frequency sharpens. When you choose emotions that empower you instead of emotions that drain you, your frequency intensifies. When your actions reflect your purpose instead of your impulses, your frequency becomes unstoppable. And suddenly, reality begins to form around the clarity of your vibration. Opportunities appear, ideas flow, people respond, doors open. What once required force now responds to your presence alone. This is the hidden truth behind mastery. The external world mirrors your internal vibration. Precision in your thoughts creates precision in your results. Discipline in your emotions creates stability in your reality. Alignment in your actions creates momentum in your life. When your energy becomes unified, the world stops resisting you. It begins to cooperate. It begins to organize around the frequency you command. This is not superstition, it is energetic law. Understand this. Every moment you are either commanding your energy or being commanded by it. If you do not regulate the vibration of your thoughts will regulate the direction of your life. If you do not master the vibration of your emotions will dictate your destiny. If you do not take control of your frequency will take control of your outcome. This is the first law of mastery, and until you mastered your vibration, you will never truly master your life. Teachy my D. Teach Kotiro Romo while energy wise. Your mind is not a place for random thoughts to wander freely. It is not a playground where doubts, fears, and insecurities are allowed to run wild without consequence. It is not a storage unit for old memories, outdated beliefs, or wounds you refuse to release. Your mind is the command center of your existence, the place where every vibration begins, where every decision is born, where every outcome is shaped long before the world ever sees it. The quality of your life is a direct reflection of the quality of activity inside your mind. Yet most people treat their mind with shocking carelessness. They leave the doors wide open, allowing anything and everything to enter. Worry strolls in and sets up camp. Negativity drips into their thoughts like poison. Comparison steals their confidence. Guilt rewrites their self-worth. Laziness whispers excuses. Distraction buries their purpose under noise. And because they do not guard their mind, they cannot guard their energy. Their entire life becomes a reaction to whatever thought happens to appear. But you cannot live like this if you want mastery. You cannot step into power while letting your mind run on autopilot. You must become the gatekeeper, the one who decides what enters and what gets thrown out. You must become the guardian, the one who protects the clarity, strength, and direction of your focus. And you must become the commander, the one who shapes your inner dialogue with intention instead of emotion, because every thought you allow is an instruction to reality. Every belief you accept becomes a blueprint for what you will build. Every mental picture you repeat becomes the architecture of your future. Your mind creates your vibration. Your vibration shapes your behavior. Your behavior carves your results. And your results construct your destiny. This chain is unbreakable. This is universal law. Nothing in your life appears randomly. It is all connected back to the mental seeds you planted, consciously or unconsciously. The mind is not passive. It is a force of creation. It pulls experiences, opportunities, people, and outcomes into alignment with whatever dominates your internal world. This is why mastering your energy begins with mastering your thoughts. Not occasionally, not only when you feel inspired, not only when life is calm, but every single day. In every moment, you have a choice to focus on what empowers you or to focus on what destroys you, to entertain thoughts that elevate your vibration or thoughts that lower it, to strengthen your inner world or to weaken it. Mind mastery is not an event. It is a discipline. It is the conscious decision to choose your thoughts instead of letting them choose you. To master the mind is to master the signal you send into the universe. It is to take control of the very force that shapes your existence. This is not just mindset work. This is energy work, identity work, destiny work. When you command your mind, you command your vibration. When you command your vibration, you command your life. This is the real foundation of power. This is consciousness. This is self-mastery in its purest form. Fear. C-F-U-N-C-Y humanity. Fear is not merely an emotion that passes through the mind like a cloud. It is an energy pattern, a dense, heavy vibration that weighs down your potential and blocks the natural flow of your power. Fear is the vibration of limitation, the frequency that keeps human beings small, hesitant, and disconnected from their true strength. It was never created to guide you. It was created to stop you. It freezes your movement, distracts your focus, and sabotages your decisions long before you ever take a step. The world is filled with brilliant minds and powerful souls living half-lives because fear has wrapped itself around their potential and convinced them to dim their light. Fear is the silent killer of dreams. It rarely screams. Instead, it whispers. It whispers doubts into your mind. It whispers delays into your plans. It whispers confusion into your purpose. It whispers limitations into your confidence. It tells you to wait until you feel ready, to wait until the circumstances are perfect, to wait until the fear magically disappears. But fear never leaves on its own. It grows when you avoid it. It strengthens when you obey it. It multiplies when you give it attention. This is how fear takes control, not by overpowering you, but by convincing you to surrender your power. The truth is simple: fear cannot stop you. It has no physical strength, no logical foundation, no real authority over your destiny. It only has the power you feed it. And what do you feed it with? Your attention, your imagination, your hesitation, your belief. When you focus on fear, you energize it. When you ignore fear, it weakens. When you act despite fear, it dies. Fear is not a wall, it is a shadow. And shadows only grow when you turn away from the light of action. Fear is energy, and like all energy, it can be transformed. You can swap it, shift it, transmute it, not through wishful thinking or empty affirmations, but through conscious redirection. You do not wait for courage to appear. Courage is created in the act of moving forward despite trembling hands and racing thoughts. You do not hope for the right time. The right time is the moment you choose to act. You do not wish for fear to disappear. You push through fear until it dissolves under the power of your movement. Action is the higher frequency. Action disrupts fear's vibration. Action cuts through confusion. Action pulls your mind back into the present moment, where fear cannot survive. Action rewires your nervous system, teaches your brain a new pattern, and proves to your subconscious that you are bigger than the thing you fear. Every step taken while afraid is an act of self-evolution, a declaration that your destiny will not be negotiated with your doubts. This is how warriors are made, not in the absence of fear, but in their refusal to bow to it. This is how leaders are shaped, not because they feel fearless, but because they move forward anyway. This is how destinies are rewritten, not by erasing fear, but by overpowering it with disciplined, courageous action. Fear may be the lowest frequency, but you are not. You were built to rise above it, to command your energy, and to step into the world as the highest version of yourself. The energy without direction is chaos. It moves, but it moves without purpose. It expands, but it expands without form. It burns, but it burns without creating anything meaningful. Intensity without aim becomes wasted effort, a fire that exhausts itself without ever lighting the path forward. Passion without clarity is nothing more than confusion pretending to be ambition. A powerful engine with no steering wheel, capable of motion but incapable of arrival. This is why so many people work hard yet remain stuck. Their energy is strong, but their direction is weak. You cannot control energy if you do not know where you want it to go. Energy responds to intention the way metal responds to a magnet, silently, powerfully, automatically. When your intention is blurred, your energy disperses in 1,000 directions. You start projects, abandon them, chase ideas, doubt them, make plans, avoid them. Life becomes a cycle of partial efforts and half-built dreams. But the moment you decide exactly what you want, energy reorganizes itself around that decision. It begins to flow, to focus, to concentrate. This is the power of clarity. It transforms scattered potential into unstoppable momentum. Clarity is the command. It is the instruction you give to the universe, to your subconscious mind, and to your future self. Without it, nothing functions at full capacity. With it, everything begins to align. Clarity is the blueprint that tells energy what to do, where to move, and how to shape the experiences ahead. Without a clear blueprint, energy has no choice but to act randomly. With a clear blueprint, energy becomes precise, targeted, and extremely powerful. So you must ask yourself the questions that most people avoid, the questions that strip away guesswork and force your mind into alignment. What do you want? Not what sounds good, not what others expect, not what feels safe. What do you truly want? Why do you want it? Because without a strong why, your energy collapses under pressure. Purpose fuels endurance. What are you willing to give in exchange for it? Every dream demands a price: time, discipline, sacrifice, habits, ego, comfort. Mastery requires an exchange. What must you eliminate to receive it? You cannot carry everything with you. Some habits, people, beliefs, and distractions must be released. The moment clarity enters your life, everything begins to shift. Your energy aligns like iron filings snapping into formation under the pull of a magnet. Your thoughts sharpen. They stop wandering and begin serving your direction. Your discipline strengthens because clarity removes hesitation, and hesitation is the enemy of consistency. Your vision intensifies. What was once foggy becomes vivid, and what once felt distant becomes reachable. With clarity, you stop chasing everything and start attracting what is meant for you. You stop wasting energy on things that do not matter. You stop entertaining distractions disguised as opportunities. Clarity brings power. Clarity brings confidence. Clarity brings speed. It turns life from a guessing game into a targeted mission. Clarity is not optional. It is not a luxury reserved for motivated people. It is a fundamental law of energy. If you do not define your direction, energy will default to disorder. If you do not choose your target, your energy will scatter. If you do not declare your purpose, your mind will drift back into old patterns. But when you become clear, genuinely, unapologetically clear, the universe responds with precision. Your mind responds with focus. Your habits respond with alignment. Your future responds with certainty. Clarity is the laser that shapes energy into reality. Without it, power is wasted. With it, power becomes destiny. Ti chi fo shi ti shet bien is unity. People often misunderstand discipline. They reduce it to a checklist of habits, a set of routines, a matter of waking up early or repeating the same tasks every day. They imagine it as willpower, a kind of mental muscle you flex when you're feeling strong and ignore when you're tired. But this definition is shallow. It barely scratches the surface. Discipline is something far greater, far deeper, far more powerful than most people ever realize. It is not a behavior. It is an energetic force. It is the mechanism through which you take control of your reality. Discipline is energy control. It is the ability to override emotional impulses and redirect your energy toward the decisions you made from a place of clarity and purpose. Long before your temporary emotions try to interfere, most people are controlled by how they feel in the moment. If they feel tired, they stop. If they feel scared, they hesitate. If they feel uninspired, they procrastinate. Discipline breaks this cycle. Discipline says I move because I choose to, not because my emotions permit me. Discipline is the moment you declare sovereignty over your own mind and energy. When you say, I choose my purpose, not my mood, you disconnect from the emotional turbulence that usually derails your days. I choose my vision, not my excuses. You step away from the stories you use to justify staying small. I choose my future, not my comfort. You detach from the seductive pull of ease and complacency. These declarations are not motivational slogans. They are energetic commands. Each one reshapes the direction of your life because each one reassigns where your energy flows. When you choose purpose, vision, and future over comfort, your vibration shifts from scattered to focused, from weak to strong, from reactive to intentional. This shift in energy is what turns discipline into the force that bends reality. Discipline transforms chaotic energy into structured power. Without discipline, energy leaks everywhere, into distractions, into procrastination, into fear, into self-doubt. But discipline gathers that scattered energy, concentrates it, channels it, and converts it into momentum. It is the bridge between desire and manifestation, intention and execution, vision and embodiment. When your energy becomes structured, the world begins to respond in structured ways. Opportunities appear. Progress becomes visible. Results begin to materialize. Discipline creates momentum. The invisible engine that carries you forward even on days when motivation is nowhere to be found. Momentum is not built in one day. It is built in small, consistent actions that accumulate until your energy becomes unstoppable. And once the engine of momentum activates, it becomes easier to stay committed, easier to stay focused, easier to stay aligned. Discipline gives you the power to start. Momentum gives you the power to continue. Discipline creates consistency, the rarest and most valuable asset in a world addicted to instant gratification. Anyone can be committed for a day. A few can stay committed for a week. but the one who maintains discipline for months, years, a lifetime. That person becomes a force of nature. Consistency is the proof that your energy is no longer controlled by emotion, but guided by purpose. And discipline compels results to appear. Not through luck, not through chance, not through hoping, but through the inevitable mathematics of focused energy applied over time. When you show up again and again, regardless of fear, resistance, mood, or distraction, the universe has no choice but to give way. Reality bends for the disciplined because reality always bends for energy that refuses to scatter. This is where mastery begins, not when you feel powerful, but when you choose to act powerfully. Not when life is easy, but when you decide to move through difficulty with intention. Not when you want to, but when you choose to. Discipline is not punishment, it is liberation. It frees you from the prison of your moods and elevates you to the throne of your potential. Through discipline, you command energy, and through energy, you kaimi mighty the asheshti is farm of energy OWR sipe. If you want to control energy, if you want to command vibration, if you want to reshape your reality from the inside out, you must take responsibility for every part of your life. Not partial responsibility, not selective responsibility, not responsibility only when things are going well. True responsibility, full, complete, unfiltered ownership of everything that exists within your experience. Most people run from this. They hide behind excuses, hide behind circumstances, hide behind their past, hide behind what others did or failed to do. But responsibility is not about blame, not about guilt, not about shame. Responsibility is the opposite of those things. Responsibility is freedom. The moment you claim everything in your life, your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, your actions, your reactions, your patterns, your energy, your circumstances, is the moment you reclaim the power to change them. You cannot change what you do not own. You cannot fix what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot direct energy you keep pretending belongs to someone else. Responsibility is the moment you end the negotiation with your own story. It is the moment you stop pointing outward and start looking inward. It is the moment you decide my life is my creation. Therefore, my life is my responsibility. Responsibility is energy sovereignty, the highest form of ownership a human being can achieve. It is the declaration that nothing outside you is stronger than what is inside you. Not your past, not your environment, not your fears, not your mistakes, not your circumstances. Responsibility doesn't deny the challenges, it simply refuses to give them authority over your destiny. When you accept responsibility, you stop giving your power away. You stop allowing external forces to dictate your internal state. You stop letting circumstances become excuses, and you start turning them into catalysts. No excuses. Excuses scatter energy. Excuses blind you to solutions. Excuses keep you stuck in loops of repetition. Excuses vibrate weakness because they reinforce the belief that something outside you controls your outcome. Every excuse you speak is an energetic declaration that you are powerless, and the universe responds accordingly. No stories. Stories are the narratives we create to protect ourselves from discomfort, effort, accountability, and change. Stories are the illusions we use to justify an action. They protect the ego but destroy the future. Every time you tell yourself a limiting story, I can't, I'm not ready, it's just who I am, it's not the right time, you reinforce a frequency that keeps your life small. No victimhood. Victimhood is the lowest energetic posture a human being can take because it locks you out of transformation. A victim cannot change. A victim cannot choose. A victim can only react. A victim cannot direct energy. A victim can only absorb whatever energy life pushes at them. The moment you step out of victimhood, you step back into authorship. You stop living as a character in your life and become the creator of it. Responsibility is not a burden. It is a gateway. It is the portal to transformation. When you take responsibility, you activate the most powerful vibrational shift available to human consciousness, the shift from life happening to me to life responding to me. Responsibility aligns you with causation, not effect. It transforms you from a passenger into the driver, from a reactor into a commander, from someone who hopes into someone who creates. This is where transformation begins. The moment you stop waiting for permission, waiting for validation, waiting for the right moment, waiting for someone to save you. The moment you decide that everything changes when I change. When responsibility becomes your foundation, energy becomes your instrument, and life becomes your creation. Become in US Top PBLE, TH phenyl safety. Becoming unstoppable is not a moment. It is a transformation of the inner world, a recalibration of the mind, and a conscious elevation of your energetic frequency. When you master your thoughts, something profound happens within you. Your vibration rises. And when your vibration rises, your behavior evolves. You move differently, think differently, act differently, and create differently. This triggers a chain reaction in your life. Higher energy leads to stronger action. Stronger action leads to accelerated results, and accelerated results reshape your identity. You begin to see yourself not as who you were, but as who you are becoming. This is the cycle of power, the cycle that defines the unstoppable human being. To become unstoppable is to step out of the ordinary patterns of reaction and step into the extraordinary realm of creation. You stop allowing circumstances to dictate your path. You stop letting fear, confusion, or doubt decide what you can or cannot do. Instead, you rise into the truth of your existence. You are the director of energy. You are the one who commands the internal forces that shape your external reality. Life is no longer something that happens to you. Life becomes something you intentionally build, influence, and elevate with each decision, each thought, and each action. Every single thing in your life responds to the vibration you carry. Your opportunities match your frequency. Your relationships mirror your internal state. Your income aligns with the level of belief, confidence, and purpose you embody. Even your destiny bends to the energy you consistently project. This is why people stuck in low vibrations repeat the same patterns over and over. Life is simply reflecting the energy they have not yet changed. And this is why those who elevate their frequency rise faster than anyone expects. They have shifted the energetic blueprint that reality must respond to. Life does not give you what you want. It gives you what you vibrate. Your desires alone are not enough. Your energy must match the level of the life you seek. Wanting success while vibrating doubt creates conflict. Wanting abundance while vibrating fear creates delay. Wanting progress while vibrating confusion creates stagnation. But when you raise your frequency, when your thoughts, beliefs, and actions become aligned with your vision, the world rearranges itself around you. Doors open. People appear. Opportunities unfold. Momentum accelerates. Becoming unstoppable requires a conscious, deliberate mastery of the fundamentals that shape your energy. Sharpen your mind so that your thoughts become your allies, not your enemies. Command your thinking so that it guides your life, not sabotages it. Stand firmly in your purpose, the internal fire that refuses to dim no matter what challenges arise. Act with relentless discipline, because each small action trains your energy to obey your vision. Move with clarity, because direction transforms power into progress. Transform fear into action, because fear only survives when left unchallenged. Take responsibility for everything, because responsibility is ownership, and ownership is freedom. Once you understand how to control energy, everything changes. You are no longer a wanderer in your own life. You become the architect. You are no longer a reactor to circumstances. You become the creator of outcomes. You no longer wait for destiny. You design it. Everything is energy. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, your habits, your choices, all of it contributes to the vibration you send into the world. And now, you know how to control it.